Right now, as you search for flights, book your seat, and walk through the airport, the airline knows more about you than you think. They know how many times you visited their website before booking. They know which seat you almost picked before switching. They know if you're a nervous flyer. They know if you're traveling for a funeral. And they use every single piece of that information to make sure you pay more, complain less, and never find out what's really happening behind the scenes. I'm not talking about conspiracy theories. I'm talking about documented, confirmed industry practices that airlines have quietly built into their systems over the past decade. And in 2026, with AI now deeply embedded in how airlines price, monitor, and manage passengers, these secrets are more powerful than ever. In this video, I'm breaking down 10 things airlines are actively doing right now that they hope you never find out. Number 7 in particular is the one that made me genuinely angry when I looked into it. Stay with me. Quick thing before we start, if nobody has told you this stuff before, that's exactly why this channel exists. Hit subscribe and the notification bell so you never miss a video. I post every 2 days and every single video is built to save you money, stress, and surprises at the airport. Alright, secret number 1, dynamic pricing watches your behavior. Here is something airlines will never say out loud in a press release or an ad. Their pricing algorithms are watching your behavior in real time. Every time you search for a flight and come back to check it again, the price goes up. Not because demand increased, because the algorithm detected that you are interested. You searched once, baseline price. You searched twice, slight increase. You came back a third time. Now it knows you want this flight, and it adjusts accordingly. This is done through cookies and cached data in your browser. The system sees your return visit as a buying signal and treats it the same way a car salesman treats someone who keeps coming back to look at the same car. The fix is simple and it works. Always search for flights in a private or incognito browser window every single time. Clear your cookies before searching on a new device. And if you find a price you're happy with, book it immediately. Don't sleep on it, don't come back tomorrow. That hesitation is exactly what the algorithm is waiting for. Secret number 2. Your seat is a data point. When you choose your seat on a flight, you think you're just picking where to sit. The airline thinks something completely different. Your seat selection is a data point in their passenger profiling system. Did you immediately go for the emergency exit row? They flag you as an experienced, confident traveler. Did you pick a middle seat in the back without hesitation? They note you as a price-sensitive traveler. Did you spend 8 minutes on the seat map before choosing? Their system logs that as anxious or indecisive behavior. This data feeds into how they target you with upsells. The confident traveler gets served upgrade offers. The price-sensitive traveler gets baggage fee bundles. The anxious traveler gets travel insurance pop-ups. None of this is accidental. It is a deliberate, automated system designed to extract the maximum amount of money from each type of traveler. Knowing this doesn't mean you should game the system, but it does mean you should be aware that every choice you make on their website is being recorded and used against you commercially. Secret number 3. Overbooking is intentional and legal. This one most people have heard of, but very few people understand how deep it actually goes. Airlines deliberately sell more tickets than there are seats on the plane. Not by accident, not as an error. As a calculated business strategy backed up by decades of historical no-show data. Their algorithms predict with remarkable accuracy exactly how many people will miss their flight, cancel last minute, or simply not show up for any given route on any given day. And they sell that exact number of extra seats to make sure the plane is always completely full. When the math works, and it usually does, nobody notices and the airline makes more money. When the math goes wrong, and it does sometimes, passengers get bumped. Here is what most people do not know. If you are involuntarily bumped from a flight, meaning you did not volunteer, you are legally entitled to compensation of up to 400% of your one-way ticket price under U.S. Department of Transportation rules. Not a voucher, not future flight credit. Cash, real money. Airlines count on you not knowing this and accepting a $200 voucher when you're actually owed $800. Next time you're at a gate and they ask for volunteers before you raise your hand, ask the gate agent what the compensation is. Ask if it can be cash instead of a voucher. Ask when the next available flight is. Then make an informed decision, not a rushed one. Secret number 4. Bereavement. Fares are nearly extinct for decades. Airlines offered something called a bereavement fare, a discounted ticket for travelers who needed to fly urgently due to the death or serious illness of a family member. It wasn't a huge discount, but it was an acknowledgement that some travel is not a choice, it's an emergency. Most major US airlines have quietly eliminated or severely restricted bereavement fares, and the ones that still technically offer them often require documentation, have booking restrictions that make them hard to use, and in many cases are not actually cheaper than a last-minute fare bought directly. Here is what actually works when you need to fly urgently for a family emergency. Call the airline directly, not the website, not an app, a human agent. Explain the situation clearly and calmly. Many airlines have unpublished compassionate policies that agents can apply to waive change fees, hold a fare while you confirm details, or occasionally offer a discounted rate. These policies exist. They are just never advertised, because advertising them would mean more people would ask. Secret number 5. Your frequent flyer miles are losing value. If you have a frequent flyer account with miles or points sitting in it right now, I need you to pay attention to this one. Airlines have the legal right to devalue their miles programs at any time, with little to no advance notice, and they do it regularly. A ticket that cost 25,000 miles 3 years ago might now cost 40,000 miles for the exact same route. They do not send you an email that says, "Hey, your miles are now worth 30% less." They just quietly update the redemption chart and count on the fact that most people don't track their miles closely enough to notice. In 2024 and into 2026, multiple major airline programs have shifted to dynamic award pricing, meaning the miles cost for a reward seat now fluctuates just like cash ticket prices do, which makes your miles harder to value, harder to plan around, and much easier to quietly devalue without you realizing. The move? Use your miles. Don't hoard them. Every month they sit in your account, they are losing purchasing power, and the airline is perfectly fine with that. Secret number 6. Basic economy is designed to frustrate you. Basic economy fares were not created to give you a cheaper option. They were created to make the next tier up look reasonable by comparison. This is a classic pricing psychology strategy called anchoring. You see a $79 basic economy ticket. Then you see a $129 main cabin ticket that includes a seat selection, a carry-on, and flexibility. Suddenly, $129 feels like a good deal, even though $129 was always the real price. The $79 was the bait. The restrictions on basic economy are deliberately designed to be annoying enough that a significant percentage of people who buy them end up upgrading anyway, either at booking, at check-in, or at the gate. Airlines know the conversion rate of basic economy buyers to upgraders to the dollar. It is not an accident. It is a funnel. If you're going to fly basic economy, commit to it completely. Personal item only, no changes, no complaints. Or skip it entirely and book the next tier up directly. You will likely spend the same amount either way. Secret number 7. They know if you're emotionally vulnerable. Okay, this is the one I mentioned at the beginning. And I want to be clear, this is not speculation. This is documented by consumer behavior researchers and has been reported by industry insiders. Airlines and the third-party data brokers they work with can and do use contextual data to identify emotionally high-stakes travel. What does that mean in plain English? If you are searching for a last-minute flight on a holiday weekend, or booking a one-way ticket with no return, or traveling a route commonly associated with medical emergencies or family crises, the pricing algorithm identifies that context, and it prices accordingly, because a person flying to say goodbye to a parent does not have the luxury of waiting for a sale, and the airline system knows that. Now, does every airline do this explicitly and intentionally in the way I just described? Some do. Some use it indirectly through dynamic pricing inputs. But the data that makes it possible, your search history, your travel patterns, your booking behavior under time pressure, that data is being collected by every major airline. What you can do is be strategic. Search on a private browser, use a VPN to mask your location and search patterns. Use fare comparison tools like Google Flights that show you the price history of a route so you know whether what you're seeing is genuinely high or algorithmically inflated. Secret number 8. Flight delays have a hidden threshold. When your flight is delayed, the airline's internal teams are watching one number more closely than anything else: the 3-hour mark for domestic flights, the 4-hour mark for international flights. These are the thresholds at which passenger compensation and legal obligations kick in under US and international rules. And airlines structure their delay communications specifically to manage around these thresholds. You'll notice that delays are often announced in 30-minute increments: 1 hour delay, then another 30 minutes, then another 30 minutes. This is not coincidence. This is delay management. Announcing a 3-hour delay upfront triggers compensation obligations and gives passengers the right to rebook without fees. Announcing it in small increments keeps passengers at the gate less likely to rebook and technically below the threshold at each announcement. Here is what you need to know as a traveler. If your total delay reaches 3 hours domestically or 4 hours internationally, you are entitled to request a full refund or free rebooking regardless of how the airline communicated it. Track the delay time yourself. Screenshot every gate announcement with the timestamp, and if you hit that threshold, go to the counter and ask. Secret number 9. Your checked bag fee is pure profit. In 2023, U.S. Airlines collected over $7 billion in baggage fees alone. $7 billion for moving luggage that was already on the plane. Here is the part airlines really don't want you to think about. The actual cost of handling a checked bag, loading it, transporting it, unloading it, is estimated by aviation economists at somewhere between $4 and $9 per bag. The average fee charged to you, $35 to $45 for the first bag, $45 to $65 for the second. The margin on baggage fees is enormous. And unlike the base ticket price, which is heavily competed on, and publicly visible baggage fees are added after you've already committed to the airline, the route, and the schedule. By the time you see the bag fee, switching airlines feels like too much effort. The airline knows this. It designed the entire booking flow around this moment. 3 ways to avoid or reduce baggage fees legally. 1. Get a co-branded airline credit card. Almost all of them include 1 free checked bag per traveler. That benefit alone pays for the annual fee if you check a bag even twice a year. 2. Check your bag at the gate, not at check-in. When overhead bins fill up, airlines gate check bags for free. Arrive at the gate with your carry-on, and often they'll check it to your final destination at no charge. 3. Pack everything in a personal item. It takes practice, but it's completely doable for trips up to a week with the right packing strategy. Secret number 10. The upgrade list is not random. The last secret. And this one ends on something you can actually use immediately. When a flight has unsold business or first-class seats, airlines do not randomly pick economy passengers to upgrade. There is a precise algorithm-driven upgrade priority list, and the factors that put you higher on that list are not what most people assume. It's not about being nice to the gate agent. It's not about dressing well. It's not about asking at the right moment. The upgrade list is primarily driven by your frequent flyer status, the single biggest factor. How much you paid for your ticket, higher base fares rank higher. How early you checked in, early check-in signals an engaged, reliable passenger. Whether you are traveling alone, single passengers are much easier to upgrade than groups because 1 seat is always available. And your overall lifetime value as a customer as tracked by the airline's CRM system. Here's what you can control starting today. Always check in the moment the window opens, usually 24 hours before departure. Book directly through the airline, not a third party. Third-party bookings often rank lower in upgrade priority. If you travel frequently on one airline, even occasional flying on one carrier beats spreading across 5 carriers with no status anywhere. And if you're traveling solo, know that you are statistically the most upgradable type of passenger. Mention it politely at the gate if seats are available. Not demanding, just aware. So there they are. 10 things airlines are actively doing right now that they hope you never find out. Let me give you the fast version one more time. 1. They track your searches and raise prices on return visits. Use incognito. Always. 2. Your seat choice is passenger profiling data. Now you know. 3. Overbooking is legal, intentional, and you have rights. Know your compensation before you volunteer. 4. Bereavement fares are mostly gone. Call a human agent instead. 5. Your miles are losing value every month. Use them, don't hoard them. 6. Basic economy is a psychological pricing trap. Commit fully or skip it. 7. They can identify emotionally high-stakes travel and price accordingly. Use private browsing and a VPN. 8. Delays are managed in increments to stay below compensation thresholds. Track the time yourself and know your rights. 9. Baggage fees are almost pure profit. Get a co-branded card, gate check when possible, or master the personal item only pack. 10. Upgrades follow an algorithm. Check in early, book direct, and fly solo when you can. That is information the airline will never put in a press release. But now you have it. If this video opened your eyes to even one thing you didn't know, please hit that like button. It genuinely helps this channel reach more travelers who deserve to know this stuff. subscribe if you haven't already, and check out the next video. It covers something just as important for your next trip. I'll see you there. Safe travels.